everyone, welcome back to the channel. First I want to apologize that I'm a little sick, but because I'm working full-time right now and I don't have time much to do videos during the week, I'm taking the time here to do this video on a weekend. I have some new products in my new Gumroad store. I'm moving things from Shopify to Gumroad because of store costs, and I want to show you some techniques here to work with some papers and textures that we have, and just to spark some new ideas for you. And especially if you are not a person that works with a lot of pattern paper or a lot of design paper like this one here that I have new at the store, which is the birds and flowers. I want to show you that it can seem overwhelming, but we can disguise this pretty good and put a lot of texture on it, and also add some watercolor styles. So let's get started. So we're gonna get one paper here. Let's get all the papers that we're gonna use. And I have, and this is actually bridge that it comes with your Photoshop subscription. Let's see here. Yeah, so let's start putting this all here, and then we can hide them. I work with a tablet. It's not a Wacom tablet, and I have always at the video here the tablet that I use now. I use a X Pen tablet. Has been working great because I use a Mac and I got tired of Wacom issues with a Mac. I always like to show you how to use the best of your stash, because you use your hard-earned money on your stash, and I don't think it's fair also that we have fun buying them or having fun creating them for you and you just use them once and that's it. So that's not fair at all. Let's start here with a base. So we have this one texture here. There's many ways that we can work with these textures to help bring some color to the background, okay? So first, let's give you some ideas here. I can start with a color. So that is just an idea here. If I have a color in the background, I can come to this texture here and use a color burn or a multiply. But then what I can do as well, and come here with gradients, gradient views. I have my magical gradients here. Let's do a blue one, and I'm going to actually clip to the texture, and we can use as well a blend mode here. So I'm going to use overlay. If we can change this to normal and see if it affects more, but I like it on multiply. So as you can see, we already have a base with a texture. If you want to create like a mixed media page or art journal, digital art journal page, we have our texture starting there. Okay, now we have this paper over here, and what we're going to do, we're going to mask this paper, and let's get a mixed media. My mixed media set here, brush. Let me see if that's gonna work. Let's put in white. Okay, I like this one here, the texture paint that has a little bit of texture. So we can put in places that we want the pattern to show. This is one technique, okay? So before we get started, I'm gonna duplicate this here. I'm gonna hide this one. And let's make the mask active. And I'm gonna now reduce the opacity here. so the ends here are not as bright. I'm gonna reduce the flow 10%. Let's put this bird here. And the easiest method here is to use a blend mode, so we can do that together with the texture. So we can use overlay, and then you can see that it has come a little bit on the texture here. And also what you can do is you can duplicate this layer and use a second blend mode. That was an interesting kind of a bluish, like that. So that is something that you can do as well. Something else that we can do is we can, let me hide this here. I'm going to put this two here on a folder so we kept ourselves organized. I'm going to delete the layer mask. And what you can do as well is clip this texture. We have another texture here. We clip the the pattern paper to the texture, and we are going to overlay. And what we can do now is mask the texture. And I'm gonna come with my let's see the cozy brushes here. Now I'm gonna end up going to my favorite, which is the brayer set that inside of the jelly bundle. I have to create another one because I just love this. It gives such a, because I already have texture there, and because this brush is very texture full, then it creates even more texture here. So then, as you can see, we have a very, I also put in very low pressure here on the pen. If I put you see I'm putting more pressure, then I can have places that has more the bird showing. So you can see now that we have a very texturized background here, and we can use, if you want to take this further and create like a builded a layered mixed media background, you know what we can do for here, we can create some, we can bring in some stencils. So, and I have a whole video showing how to use the stencils, but how cool is that it clipped here to the texture as well? I was not even thinking to do that, but that is really cool. I'm gonna clip right now, and I'm going to select and click select, and when you click select, right, it creates the ends here. And what we're gonna do with the selection, we're gonna inverse the selection, and I'm gonna have a new layer, and I'm gonna come with the brush. Let's come with a light blue, and I have the same brush there, so very light. Okay, and you can see there we can actually move the selection, and I can now continue with the layer there, put the brush, I apologize for the dogs, and do the other way. because I didn't invert again. Okay, let me remove this contextual bar. Okay, so we deselect, Command Control D. So I kind of did the two techniques here because I didn't invert when I move it. If you want to have the same look, you can just invert that. So I can come here, I'm gonna just erase this kind of just delete it there a little bit. Okay, so as you can see here, we have a very texturized background. We mixture a lot of textures, just simple gradients and simple color, and we can create a great texture background that from here you can create a whole layout. And that's what I'm gonna save and do later. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and I see you next time.